Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel once more. Today we'll just be going through some things that I've done in the past week, and I hope that you will follow along or get some ideas, especially for the beginners who are like me at the beginning of their journey and trying to improve. And sometimes it's nice to not just see the professionals who are like perfect at everything, because that can be a bit disheartening. So I invite you to join me, and as you can see here, I am trying to sketch my cat since I don't really have access to live drawing classes, and I really feel like I need to improve my sketching skills that I've neglected for such a long time. But it turns out my cat is not the best model, because as you can see, he's moving around a lot, and if I wanted to do like 30-second sketches, that would probably be fine if you did all the cute poses, but I was trying to do something a bit more detailed and I just couldn't, because yeah, I think he wanted cuddles more than he wanted to be a model at this point. But I actually found a Zoom drawing meeting where I could draw from the screen, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody in the Zoom call gives a prompt and does a certain pose, and you try to do some speed sketching while you're at it, and you can also talk and make jokes, and it was really a lot of fun, so I think I'm gonna stick to that. But I will give up trying to sketch my cat at this point. I'm now drawing from reference, and cats just aren't a really nice motif to draw because they're cute, and I feel it's a bit harder to mess them up compared to humans, but that might just be me. While I was drawing, I was trying to do some things differently, consciously, but I know that this is going to take some mileage, and I still tend to not really practice good line economy, use too many lines and things like that. And I also felt that all the details, especially when you're drawing a tabby cat, like the stripes and everything, it's cute, but it takes away a lot of the initial, how do I call it, like the initial dynamic of the most important lines that you put down. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like emphasize some things and de-emphasize other things. But yeah, it's probably going to take a while. And also, I don't know, when I was young, at some point I realized that I could draw somewhat realistically if I took the time, but nobody ever taught me proper shading. So I'm finding out that shading is an art in itself, and the way you shade can make or break your drawing. And even you may get it right and you may get it more or less realistic, but if you're not doing the shading right, then it could also turn into a really boring drawing. So I'm trying to like experiment a little bit and find out my style of shading and where I want the focus to be. And at the same time, I've been thinking about realistic drawing in general, and even realistic painting, because after a while it just gets a bit boring and you want to like infuse your own style or come up with your own ideas and compositions and things like that. But I realized that it wasn't completely useless, because if you think of it as studying, then doing realistic portraits or sketches or drawings is really a way to learn rendering from nature. And when you know how to do that, then you can break the rules and like do your own thing with it. but the fundamentals have to be there, and that's where I feel I'm still lacking a little bit. So I try to alternate between copying and like maybe doing my own thing. And I feel that the problem with me is that when I copy, it turns into this mindless, I don't know, just going through the motions kind of thing without thinking about what I'm doing and without analyzing. So that can be dangerous for me. And I'm trying to kind of step away from that and think about construction, because otherwise, if I don't understand how something is constructed and how the forms look like in 3D, then I don't think I'll be a good sketcher or drawer or artist from imagination. So I'm trying to do a little bit of both these days. And I kind of wish that I could do my YouTube videos only me sketching, or I wish I could just do sketching and nothing else right now, because I feel that I really have to get that right before I go into painting. But that could end up in a really boring video. So yeah, I mean, my audience is really, really tiny right now, so it probably won't make much of a difference to you, but I want to make it a bit interesting. So yeah, I'm really trying to find a balance here. And also, my neck has been hurting from looking down, and I do have these little table easels, like one small one and a larger one, that I can use to help with my posture, but then it's really hard to set up the camera properly, and I don't always want my face to be in the camera. So yeah, I'm really trying to figure out what to include in my YouTube videos and whatnot. Anyway, I'm moving on to the next study, because one of my goals is also to learn how to deal with gouache, because I find it really challenging. So I did this underpainting. I wanted to do something new, and I did an underpainting in warm colors. In warm colors, red, orange, and yellow, and I wanted it to show through a little bit and leave some of the outlines, and then cover the whole thing with gouache. And it was just an experiment. And here's me trying to figure out the values and the colors and everything. And when I was done with this, it was a bit too gray for my taste, so I changed the color of his t-shirt to something a bit more flashy and something that also picks up the line of the lines or whatever shows through from the underpainting, like a bit of those colors, just to tie it all together. And yeah, just a fun little practice in between to do a little bit with colors, even though gouache is not my friend. I'm trying to be its friend, but gouache is, I don't know, it's being a bitch these days. It's probably not just me, but everybody who tries to learn gouache, because it's meant to be like a very flat paint. It's meant to be like a poster or graphic-like kind of design paint. At least that's how I understood it in the past. But then I saw artists doing some really amazing and more complex stuff with it, similar to oil. And that kind of just tickled my curiosity, and I just wanted to challenge myself and try that out. But yeah, it's going to take time. So moving on to another sketch I'm doing, I realized that many people online draw girls and paint girls. So my idea here was to draw men instead, because why not? And because I don't have a model to pose for me, and my husband doesn't really want to do it, I decided to draw from a statue, and this is a statue of Neptune taming the waves. I think you can see it in the Louvre, and I think the man figure underneath him is either symbolizing either a symbol for the waves, or maybe it's his sun or something. I didn't quite get it, but it's probably like a symbol for the sea, because I think he has like a tail and scales and things like that. But yeah, here I am really copying again, and if I had seen this sculpture in real life, it would have been even better to practice drawing from a three-dimensional figure, so to speak. But since I don't have access to that, I had to resort to a photo again, and it's not as bad. I will try to combine both things in the future. But yeah, here I am trying to shade, and once again, I don't think the way I shaded was optimal because the light source was like all over the place. I don't know, so I really should have thought more about where the light hit and where not. And also during the very last bit where I use white as highlight, I probably should have skipped that step or at least dealt more consciously with it. But yeah, these are the things you learn while you try these things, and I actually like the fact that I'm learning so much and that it's not just, oh, I'm drawing, I'm painting, but it's really, I'm improving. Like, I know where I must improve and what I must do to get where I want to be. That's fun. Here's something I've been spending some time on this week because I wanted to see how far I could go using just my imagination when drawing. And this is more of an illustrative, cute kind of little drawing style, maybe for a children's book or for greeting cards or things like that, because I'm also interested in that, and not just the academic fine art aspect of things. So I thought I couldn't draw from imagination at all anymore, but turns out I'm not that bad. I mean, these are anatomically a bit off, and I realized that. And it takes me more time than it would take somebody more experienced. But I want to work on that, and I realized that it does help to use reference, as I did in the last photo, like I used in this particular case. I did use reference, but I also changed it a little bit. I changed the face to be more aligned with how I would draw a stylized face, a bit more cartoonish. And I changed a couple of other things, and I've really been inspired by some Russian doll makers who make these really intricate ball-jointed dolls, or even other artist dolls, one-of-a-kind dolls. And this one artist, I think her name was Elisa Filipova or something like that, makes a lot of clown-like figures, and that reminded me so much of the 80s. My sister used to have a picture of this harlequin clown or sad clown with a rose that used to be on trend back then. And also my mom used to have one of those clouds on a swing, and that just brought back so many childhood memories for me that I just wanted to give this girl a little clown hat and one of those huge collars. And that might be something I will pursue in the future, but I'm also trying to learn how to use a reference for my personal art so that I'm not just copying, like I said, but taking what I want from the reference and tweaking it to make it my own. So yeah, I'm definitely learning, and I hope you are too. And I just want to tell you, if you ever get discouraged because you're on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok and you see all those amazing artists who've got all those skills down, yeah, it is a climb and it's going to take time, but as long as you're enjoying yourself, I believe it's totally going to be worth it in the end. And so just keep drawing and keep painting and have fun with it, and hopefully I will see you next Friday. Take care of yourselves, and till the next time. Bye bye!